Hey guys, here doing a quick little walkthrough here. So I wanted to give you guys some feedback, as well as saying great job on this one. The siding looks awesome. Love the coloring choices on the inside. I think this is a really nice looking house. So just wanted to give you guys a couple thoughts as I take a tour here. So starting off, obviously there's a lot of snow on the ground. So it is kind of hard to see some of the groundwork, but I'm assuming I see some landscaping here. It looks like you guys did a good job. My recommendation here is before we go live, I think that we should get the driveway shoveled and maybe put some salt down as it's supposed to snow here over the week. So I recommend that we do that for showings to keep the property clean and then also presentable for showings and tours. So yeah, wanted to start with that. I know it's not done, just gonna highlight a couple pieces of trash that need to come out. The key set that I have did not get me into the garage, so I'd recommend that we have the keys available for garage access. Let me know if the garage door is working or not, or if it's manual, what the plan is there. Okay, walking into the inside. Okay. Love the highlight wall, all the fixtures. This looks great. Again, I'm just going to point stuff out. Maybe you have it on your scope, maybe you don't, but just going to point some stuff out as I see it. So starting off, one of the things about these lights, the pendant lights are really cool. The thing that kind of stinks about them a little bit is that the switches, you have to walk all the way over there to turn them on. Not a huge deal, but ideally for this listing, for future listings, if we can have a switch here that you can quickly access just to turn those on, I think that would be a value add for prospective buyers, especially during the showing process, because as an agent, you're going to be flipping around for the different switches to see which one works, try to get the lights on, especially as it gets dark early. So having proper routing for the electrical would definitely help. Moving on to the wall. Wall looks good. Some of the finishes, you may not see it too well in the video, but some of the wall, it's definitely not perfectly even. I'm assuming that's just kind of the state of the wall and how it is, but I did just want to point that out and how it shows. There's just kind of a little bit uneven on some spaces. Obviously the property does need a cleaning. Moving on to this fire pit. This is kind of the central piece of the room, and I think it is important that we get this in at least an aesthetically pleasing spot. So I think if you have any tile that you wanted to put down here, or if we're able to fix the existing tile, get it cleaned up, as well as this fireplace insert here. It's quite dirty, quite grimy. With it being colder season, I would test and see if this fireplace works. If it does, I think that'd be a big value add for you. Lastly, some of the plumbing for the gas right here, I think that those areas should be filled in for aesthetic purposes, and also it's probably going to come up on an inspection as well. So just want to point some of those things out to you here. Not sure if you have any plans with the electrical outlets. Some of them, it looks like the plate cover got switched, but not the actual outlet. So it just kind of has a visually inconsistent look on it. So just wanted to point that out if that's something you guys had planned, or always something I do recommend. This room looks really nice. Love the coloring choices. I think that these built-ins are one of the highlights of the property. I think it's really good to showcase them well. Maybe we could have the stager put some stuff in these just so it kind of shows fun. The only thing that I notice is that a lot of the glass on this is definitely pretty grimy. I recommend when you have this cleaned that you make sure that they take a look at the glass on the windows and get those cleaned just so it showcases well, as I think this is a little highlight for this area. Kitchen looks good. One other thing about this is that, to my knowledge, I think that the only outlets, and again, I'm just telling you as a showing agent, you have to walk all the way over here to turn on the lights. Not a huge deal, but a switch here would definitely be a little bit more functional for the kitchen. And then you have to go over here to turn on this one, and then over here to turn on this one. Okay. Appliances look great. I just recommend that you guys have the clock set. Any of the plastic wrapping taken off. You could probably have that done during the cleaning phase. Bedroom here looks pretty good. Bathroom looks nice. I will note that when I walk in the bathroom here, I definitely notice quite a bit of an odor when I come in here. So I'm not sure if there's maybe some plumbing issues or whatnot, but it definitely has a pretty strong odor whenever I walk in here. So recommend that we have someone take a look at that. Not sure if you're putting glass here or a curtain rod. Maybe the stager can put a curtain rod, but I do recommend that we do put something in there for showing purposes. Okay, this bedroom is nice. I'll take you down to the basement real quick. Okay, for the most part, the basement looked fine to me. I like that you guys painted the ceiling black. Looks pretty good. Let's see if there's anything I noticed while I was down here. Yeah, it's all pretty much fine. I mean, old windows, but again, it's a basement. I did notice that the contractors, when they sprayed the ceiling, they sprayed a lot of the wiring here. Some of the wiring looks like it's older, maybe aluminum. It's probably fine, but it may come up on an inspection. So I just wanted to point that out. The furnace, I couldn't tell the age of it. It's pretty old and worn looking. It is definitely working by all means. I typically read the serial or model number, so it was either installed in 93 or 03. So I wouldn't be surprised by somebody or an inspector calling the furnace needing a replacement, but it is working, of course. Again, I can't show you the garage just because Keys did not let me in. Upstairs is pretty simple. I mean, again, just some basic cleaning throughout the property. I'm sure that's planned. Okay, so first impression when you walk up, you obviously see no transition strip right here. So I think a metal plate transition strip, if you can have it match the hardware, if it's gold, that would help this show a little bit better. Because people are going to be checking out, okay, is this a closet? Is this storage space? So anyways, I moved some of the construction materials that were left over here. But people do utilize those rooms for storage. These bedrooms, I think we can call them bedrooms, but they are pretty small. With this bedroom, you technically have a closet, you kind of don't. I think if you want to kind of stage it as a bedroom, I'd recommend maybe putting in some sort of storage solutions so people could use this theoretically as like a closet space, maybe a light switch. Not sure if there is one, but I think some lighting in here would make this feel a little bit more like a closet, which would in turn make it feel more like a bedroom. I would imagine somebody maybe with some kids would use this space. It's pretty small. This drawer I couldn't get open. A lot of the drawers are kind of difficult to manage and have function. I do just want to point that out as there isn't really much closet space in here. So whatever we have available, it would make sense to make sure it's as operational and functional as possible. A lot of these closets, drawers have construction debris in them. I recommend that you take all of that out, clean it up, make it look a little bit nicer. It's always hard to see in these videos, but these windows are quite dirty as well. So if you have your cleaner, I just recommend on all your properties, just get the windows cleaned as they show a little bit grimy. A lot of construction debris, etc. Yeah, so just like some wire shelving would be definitely sufficient in the closet space over here. Anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions and we'll go from there.